Okay. Now
We're
we're
out here.
All right.
We're here.
So, hello, everybody. What's going on? This is Corey.
I'm Travis.
We're the Brothers Who Brick. We don't usually do this. Usually you see my face, my grizzled old face, and occasionally you'll see my brother here. But tonight we got something that we're going to do a little bit special. Mark, what's up? Look at that. Mark is here. And look who's over here, Mark. Look at that.
What's up? I told you I'll be back.
So we're doing this awesome, kind of like a comic book panel. There's no real format here. We're just kind of shooting the breeze. I'm going to let these two young gentlemen introduce themselves to the world and just go from there. So let's start. You know what? Either one of y'all can start.
I will begin. Hi, everyone. My name's Kyrie. I also go by Design by Drizzle. I am about to be graduate from Wentworth Institute of Technology. Big Lego fan, big superhero fan, and I'm just here to talk. So it's going to be great.
All right, here we go.
Hey everyone, my name is Tony Stark. Sorry, excuse me. My name is Nick, but as you can see, my Instagram is id.nicholasvera, and I also go to Wentworth, and I'm friends with Kyrie. We went to school together, and we both study industrial design. And I stumbled across Brothers Who Brick via Lego Masters. So yeah, here I am.
All right, glad to have you here.
There we go. So we are live on different platforms right now. So for those who are on Twitch and on Instagram, if you want to see these two handsome men, their faces and what they're wearing, please go to YouTube and go to Brothers Who Brick. You can see our live chat is up already, and you can go on, subscribe to us. You could go on and check these young men out. You know what? Let's just jump right into it because we said we want to start at 8 and it's about 8:20, so we're 20 minutes late. But that's all good. That's all. I'll take the blame. We'll go on and we'll keep it moving. So, all right, where can we start? So there's some big news that came out pretty recently regarding what was it? Man, I just read it.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of information out now.
Let's start with DC.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
DC too? So
I'm a bit of both.
Let's start with DC. So DC is coming out with the what do you call it? Batman? No. Justice League.
The Snyder Cut.
The official Snyder.
Oh.
Let me ask you guys this, right? Because I need to know from right now.
Yeah.
Who is tired of hearing about the Snyder Cut?
Ooh.
I feel like I've been hearing about it forever, and I feel like there's gonna be nothing really crazy or special about it at all. Like,
Okay.
eh.
Is someone chiming in already?
Here we go.
I'm just telling people where to go.
Okay, all right. Okay, Nick, what say you about the Snyder Cut? I have my flip-floppy opinions on it, but go ahead.
This is gonna be a little harsh, but I'm just waiting for another reboot.
Yeah.
So you just like throw in a towel.
Yeah, at this point, like, I mean, you already got like the fantastic performance of Joaquin Phoenix. You already got what's his name? Robert Pattinson coming out next year. Like, why are they still pushing this universe that, in my opinion, so obviously tried to follow in the tracks of what the MCU has built? And they try to do it as fast as possible. So I just think it didn't work. Take your loss and then build something new and better. The direction I think they're going with the Joaquin Phoenix and like focusing on the villains, that's some strong content. I think that's what the DC and us people really want to see. We want to see that darker side. We want to get into that psychology. So I think they really need to just continue pushing with that and stop trying to, I don't know, like take their current universe and do something with it.
I kind of felt like, yeah, they tried to create collaborations between their pieces, aka their heroes, with their movies, and they didn't really seem like they were ready for that transition. Like, it seemed like they were throwing in, hey, let's put in Darkseid and all those characters, whereas, you know, not to compare apples and oranges, but the MCU had the 10 years of doing that compared to just a handful of years. So for DC at least.
Let me chime in here. And let's let it be known right now. I am a Marvel and a DC fan. more
Yeah.
heavier on the Marvel side than on DC. Ever since Batman versus Superman, DC has burned me, scorned me. I am. It's going to take a lot for them to win me back over.
Mm.
So when I realized what Justice League was going to be, the initial plans of Justice League, I was a little intrigued.
Mhm.
But then I realized that Snyder was still signed on to this movie, and we were still seeing his vision. And I knew right away that it was going to go down. So when I realized it went down, Snyder kept dropping little things to say, hey, look at what I
Remember
was going to
me.
do.
Yeah.
Hey, look what I was going to put in. What do you guys think? And if the fans said, oh, that sucked. Okay, I don't need to add that. What about this? Oh, you guys like it? Okay, I can use this. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that he's doing a Snyder Cut because this is for his fans.
Mhm.
This is for his people, his circle. They're going to be happy with that because that's what they asked for. He put out stuff. They say yes and no to it, and then he just meshed it all together. So I'm glad this is finally coming out. We can stop hearing Snyder Cut because Snyder Cut is dead. Snyderverse is dead. It was dead on arrival, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Into the Snyderverse.
Yeah, after Man of Steel, I enjoyed Man of Steel.
I agree.
Yep.
I enjoyed Man of Steel. I like the approach. I like where they were going with it. But then they immediately followed it up with Batman versus Superman, which for me, it just crapped the bed. And then Suicide Squad just kind of,
That should have been the nail in the coffin, opinion.
it
Really should have been.
When I
Good
watched
then.
that movie, when I was watching Suicide Squad, I was like, what is even happening? I didn't even feel like I felt like I was like something was in the air. It didn't even feel like I was watching it. I don't know.
When the guy with the rope, when they literally in one scene introduced him, in the very next scene killed him off in the most ridiculous way. It's like I couldn't. It lost me at that point. It just lost me at that point. You know.
Yeah,
And my thing is still about the Snyder Cut. It's like, I mean, I get it. Like Corey's saying, I get it's for the fans, but it's like, why would I want to see a Frankenstein of a movie? Because at this point, it's Frankenstein. At this point, you know, it's dead. Leave it alone. Bury it. Forget about it. He's Solomon Grundy in it. So I think that there's no point to the Snyder Cut, and it's gonna be in like 6 parts too. It's like we saw your vision. I know people want to say, "Oh, it was Whedon's vision," but I mean, how much of it did he really change from what Snyder was already going to do anyway?
Originally, they said that Snyder's cut the movie Justice League. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. And people in the chat, I see the chat room is starting to buzz. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the Justice League movie was 85%, like 75 or 85% of Snyder's vision. And the other 15 or 10% or 20%, whatever, was Whedon kind of glossing everything over so that way it looked good to the shareholders and stuff like that, so that they will be okay with what is going to be put out. But Justice League opening weekend didn't even crack 100 million, and I mean that was it. That was like, all right, well, yeah, let's move on.
I think
But
one of the big things with that too is that you didn't like they introduced so many characters that I think they just expected people to love. Like you introduced Aquaman that first movie, you introduced Flash, you just introduced a Cyborg, all these characters, and they're just like, okay, people like know these people's names, they're gonna like them like right away. Nah, that's just not the case, and it is. You didn't feel anything. We barely felt it when Superman got like cut off. Like it wasn't emotional. There wasn't enough buildup for something like that.
Exactly. So can you imagine if in the MCU Civil War was the second movie? Can you imagine if it had Iron Man and then Civil War? Civil War would have been dead on arrival, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
See, definitely missed that mark to say, let's build for these characters to be loved.
Hold on.
Wait for MCU to fall off and then build your story over the next 10 years. Be the next big thing. Don't try to compete right away. It just doesn't work.
I'm gonna push back a little bit on what you said, Travis. The difference between Man of Steel and Iron Man, when Iron Man first came out, that was universally loved.
Mm.
Like,
Yes.
that movie
true.
was
My favorite. It was my favorite movie.
So people were
Yeah.
like, when they saw that, was like, we want more of this.
Yeah.
So Marvel did the right thing, letting that slow burn, because we didn't get the rest of the Avengers right away. We got a Hulk movie right after that. It was like a couple months after.
Yep.
Then we got Iron Man 2, and then we got Cap, and then we got like Thor, Captain America, and all of them and everything.
Yeah.
But if they were to do like a Civil War right after that, I feel like it would probably have been a huge hit, not as big as like Avengers, but I think that it would have been a huge hit because it was going to be moving off of that momentum already.
But not a billion
No,
dollar.
not a billion.
Yeah, it made sense for them to wait for that, you know.
Yes,
but I get
yes.
what you're saying.
But
You see, you also have the problem where the DC actors can't decide if they want to stay with their roles. You have Ben Affleck, who is flipping and flopping, deciding if he wants to be Batman. Same goes for
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. It feels like thrown together in a way.
But DC also doesn't know what they want to do with their tone either. Do
Yeah.
they want to be dark? Do they want to be comedic? Do they want to be whatever? The MCU has that like it's the same tone every movie. Some would even say that the MCU movies all kind of like are the same because of that. But like DC just doesn't know what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Is it R? Is it PG-13? Is it gruesome? Is it like they don't?
And see, and that's why I didn't like Suicide Squad, because Suicide Squad is the team is meant to do things that the heroes won't do.
Yep.
But they literally had to go after Enchantress in a universe where Batman exists, Aquaman exists, and the Flash exists. So if you're gonna stick to something, stick to it, commit to it. You know, it's like they don't know what they're gonna do. One minute they want to have their hair shaved, the next minute they want to wear a weave. And I was like, what do you want to do? You know?
Can I talk about a point from Kyrie for a sec? You mentioned how you have the DC movies, they changed their tone. And I think that a perfect example of that is you look at Man of Steel, you have it feels like it's so much darker because of the soundtrack, even like the dramatic music. And then you look at Aquaman and the whole movie is colorful underwater. And it's all like, the opening scene is like a blowing up house and it's vibrant colors. And it's like, we got to stick to we have to stick to it. And like the MCU, I think that the MCU has that down where you have those serious moments, but you throw in the comic relief for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's partially why, like, for example, you throw in, when you have Guardians of the Galaxy, you're throwing in all these new characters, nobody's been seen before, first time on screen.
Yeah.
And then you have Suicide Squad, same goes for them. There's a reason why Guardians worked and why Suicide Squad did, you know?
100%.
Yeah. So let's switch gears for a little bit and stop kicking poor DC while they're down.
Sorry about that.
Let's look at and let's kind of stay with DC, but let's see what are we looking forward to with the new potential DC. So DC has Robert Pattinson, like you mentioned. He's going to be doing he's going to be in the Matt Reeves movie, the Batman. We also have Wonder Woman coming out later on this year, Wonder Woman 1984. I think those are the only two confirmed movies that are slated to come out. And I believe Flash they're kind of working on kind of reviving the Flash, and they're talking about making it the Flashpoint storyline, which will connect to the CW, Crisis on Infinite Earths that they just finished up last year, early this year. So what are you guys looking forward to with this new version of DC, or am I just spinning the same wheel that is going to be the same crap?
I'm excited. I'm curious to see what Robert Pattinson does with his Batman, and there's a lot of little things so far that I'm kind of liking, like even the bat symbol being the double, I assume the gun that kills his parents. The darker kind of hopefully they have like a little bit of a darker tone. I'm definitely here for it. Some of the other supporting cast, I forget the guy that's playing the Penguin.
Danny DeVito? No, I'm kidding.
No.
You should.
I know he should come back.
Uh,
Something Collins.
the guy-
I know who it is. too.
Okay.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. There
Yes.
you go. Yeah, excited to see what he's gonna do with his thing. I heard the Riddler's gonna be in it, Catwoman, like a lot of really good characters that we haven't seen in a long time. Like you said, Danny DeVito, we haven't had the Penguin in a long time. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see some of these characters come back.
Now, do you think though that's kind of bad because it might take away the focus of a coherent story? Because that was kind of the problem with a lot of things, is just kind of rushing everything, having so much characters that some of these characters we want to see more fleshed out. You know, like I want to see a fleshed out Riddler. I want to see a fleshed out Catwoman. I want to see them fleshed out. I don't want to see a bunch of people shoehorned in. So, do you think that might be at their own disadvantage having all these characters in there?
Depends how they play it. If they introduce them right as villains, yeah, like villain. No, but if you go, okay, you got Batman, and maybe he's not even like fully Batman yet. He's just like, you know, vigilante doing whatever. And this girl comes along, he's working with her. So Batman, Catwoman team up, and then you have the Penguin that's actually like running for mayor. You don't think of him as the Penguin yet. And the only like villain that they're really focusing and honing in on is maybe the Riddler. If they do that in a way where like you don't see these people as villains, you connect with them at a personal level, so that when they do turn, the viewer has a confliction with how they feel. That would make a good movie.
That's why Joker worked.
Yeah, exactly. If you just throw them in as, you know, like big blockbuster villains, it's not going to work. But if you add some psychology, some story, some emotion to those characters, it's a whole different story.
Now, do you think that they could do a similar approach for what they did with Joker, where they do a Riddler movie?
I think they should. I think all the villains should get because DC is good at villains. Like everyone, even Samuel L. Jackson said that. Like Marvel got the heroes, DC got the villains. Focus on the villains.
Yep.
Make the viewer empathize, relate to, understand the villain. Make us question ourselves, like, are we the villain? Whatever. And when the hero comes in, it leaves the viewer conflicted as well. And that's exactly what DC can capitalize on.
And that's basically what Thanos was too. I mean, like in
100%.
Infinity War, it's his movie. You know, the last shot is smiling on the hero, so to say. Yes, my whole glove just
Infinity
did that.
War is just
Hero.
one, bro.
But you know, that's why people are like, you've probably heard of it, like the hashtag Thanos did nothing wrong, and that's because people are just he had the ability to connect, kind of in a way, to the people watching the film.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what, Nick? What say you about the DC moving forward? What you were excited about?
As I said before, I think that the only way for them to really succeed is to, you know, if they realize that Joker works, they gotta emphasize more on trying to make those villains, give them their own films, give them a way for them to have some sort of connection to the like ordinary people, I guess. Well, like not trying to make it like too like, hey, Joker fell in like a pool of acid, you know, like that's like obviously that's not going to happen to somebody. But like if you like how he drove into insanity, that is like kind of a real thing in a way.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it worked. Whereas like if you're trying to go for that cartoon vibe, it's a little bit more, you have to make it a little bit more light. But you can't have it dark and then have the cartoon. It doesn't. That's why Christian Bale's trilogy worked too.
Yeah.
You know, it has that dark realism because it's dark. Like the whole DC Comics is just dark in general. But that's just my opinion.
What do you guys think about the reboot, Pattinson?
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah.
Well, all I don't want to see is Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne dying again. That is the only thing I don't want to see. I've seen it. I've seen it over and over until it's like it's all I think about when I think of a new Batman movie. You know. But like you guys said already, and I think you guys said it perfectly. Focus on the villains. I would like to see even Suicide Squad. I thought dropped the ball on something that could have started that kind because Marvel didn't do that yet. You know, and we really could have just taken that and ran with it, and maybe make a villain movie where the hero might be is like focused around that villain, you know?
Mhm.
Right.
Where maybe in some movies the villain might win, or at least the viewer can understand where the villain was coming from.
Mhm.
So if they decided to move in that direction, I'll be all on board.
You know,
Yeah.
Travis, when you said Suicide Squad, we were talking about some of the movies that were released this year, and I think was Birds of Prey
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
year. So I think that was something as well, and we don't have to go too in depth about that one. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
my
didn't
favorite.
even decide to see it.
Yeah.
I
you
watched
should.
it. Not my favorite. No.
Yeah. Save your eyes. It's not worth it.
James Gunn, I think that's the director, is making the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with what he's done with Guardians, I'm excited.
Sure.
We're gonna see what goes on there. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but hopefully he's the saving grace for that franchise.
So here's my thing. And this is the problem that I see with DC moving forward. They put themselves in a very awkward position because right now, Henry Cavill, he's doing the Witcher Maker, the Witcher. The Witcher. He's
Sound
doing
like
the Witcher.
like, you know, bake ovens, like it's the Witcher.
He's doing the Witcher. So he's kind of in the air of coming back as Superman. Ben Affleck's out. So we already have a new Batman signed on. Matt Reeves came out and said that this Batman is going to be its own universe. It's not going to be in the connective storyline. Okay, fine. Joker was a success.
Mm-hmm.
That
Standalone.
one is a standalone, not
Yep.
part of the overall story. Okay, cool. But they still have Wonder Woman that's coming out that is still part of the past.
Yep.
So it takes place before Batman versus Superman, during the 100 years that she was away from mankind, but yet still she has a movie when she's on Earth and she's dealing with mankind. But okay, cool, whatever. My whole problem with DC right now is that they have too many storylines that are happening right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, are you guys for that cohesive, overall, that's your story, or are you guys doing multiverse? These are different worlds. If we're doing that, that needs to be established right off the bat. So when I saw the Crisis on Infinite Earth and Flash, Grant Gustin was in front of Ezra Miller. When I saw that scene, it didn't move me, to be honest, because I said, okay, I can see where they're going with it, but then it's like, all right, I still don't trust the universe that Ezra Miller is coming from. I trust the Grant Gustin universe and them putting together a story that makes sense. I don't trust what Ezra Miller's universe is going to do going forward. So to be quite honest, I don't know where DC is heading. I don't know if they're going back to just their standalone movies. Nothing crosses, but we're in a universe now. We're in a society now where we kind of need that in your stories. So
Yeah.
this is my opinion.
Can we also mention the fact that Michael Keaton? Something was mentioned about Michael Keaton recently.
So
Which
About him coming back as
I'm here
that.
for it.
yeah,
I love Michael Keaton. I'm here for it. If he does
There's
something
something about him and roles relating to being a bird or some sort of flying animal.
So there was the reports that I read. Sorry, I'm just plugging back my thing here. That Michael Keaton was in talks to be in the Flash movie, to where Flash's movie is going to be the movie that is going to be like when the New 52 happened. What led to that epic Crisis on Infinite Earth? Everything starts over. We're a clean slate. This is the universe. All these other universes.
like Days of Future Past or something.
Yeah,
Try to fix everything like that.
yeah. So it basically that. So that's what's been said. I remember reading that and I was like, you know what? Flash has been trying to come out since 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So it's now 2020. Either you're out or you're not. Can't keep playing this game.
It's Shark Tank. It's Shark Tank.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. I've been out. So I need to see a trailer at this point. I don't want to hear no more talks.
Yep.
I need to see the trailer. I need to see that you guys filmed it. It's went through principal production. It's out. It's coming out. You got a date. You're sticking to it. That's what I need from DC. Yeah, that's it.
I hate to throw a wrench in the conversation because we're talking about comics, but you mentioned a trailer, and I heard news that the Mandalorian trailer is going to come out this month for season 2.
Yes.
So
that show is epic. I think my favorite episode was the last episode. And my favorite part of it was when the stormtroopers were talking.
Hold up. Sorry, my bad. Not to throw another into the conversation. I actually haven't seen the show because I'm a busy bird. I can't. So just for anyone in the chat,
it wasn't gonna be a spoiler. It was just the scene I like was just the stormtroopers and how they. I don't want to give it away because it kind of just goes back to like the original Star Wars. And for example, why they. I don't know. You got to just see it.
I got to catch up on my shows.
It's a show. It's a show where you don't have to see any of the Star Wars films to kind of feel like you get the vibe from it.
So true. Lego Master, like when we weren't building on Lego Masters, that's Mandalorian. All right, that's what's up, man. That's dope.
I got it yesterday.
Nice.
Oh, okay, nice.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that was like on Friday when the Mandalorian came out. Like we all went to Mark and Boone's room. And to watch that episode, I think what were we doing? I remember did we see that with them the first night?
Well, we saw part of it, but then
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we saw part of it. So we saw like the second episode or something like that with them. But either way, it was like that was like family time for us, and we're competitors on a competitive show. But we all sat together. We watched The Mandalorian, and we enjoyed it. So
man, go check it out, man. Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it before the next conversation. That way I'll be up to date. Conversation.
We can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. Let's go into man, what was that? Sorry. Let's go back into Marvel and Marvel's future. Endgame is over. Endgame.
Corey, you already got my opinion. You already got my opinion.
Well, I gotta hear your opinion, man. I gotta hear it.
That was a love letter. That was a love letter to the fans. To say thank you for riding with us for 10 years.
Yeah.
Endgame is done. We were supposed to get my girl up here. We were supposed to get Black Widow.
Yep.
Come out. COVID messed that up for us.
Oh, it screwed everything.
But I think Far From Home was Endgame was a love letter, but Far From Home was like the PS. So
this is where we're going. This is where we're going.
Yeah, there's no extra credit scene.
Yeah, or at least it says, okay, this is the direction we're going. This is the new beginnings of where we're going to go.
And just my opinion, Far From Home's end credit scene, hands down, one of my top 3.
Which one?
With
you're right.
With J. Jonah Jameson.
It's weird because all my top 3 as well is X-Men. At the end of X-Men, what was it? No. At the end of, was it Wolverine? Was it the Wolverine? No. Oh man, which movie was it?
Was the one where they revealed the suit?
No. When no, not that one. Is when Logan was walking through and he saw, and this was before Days of Future Past. He was walking through the airport, and then Magneto stopped him.
Oh,
and then Xavier rolled out, and that whole scene. To me, as an X-Men fan, I geeked out. I was like, yeah, like I yelled and everything. Like people was looking at me like, yo, dude, it's not that big of a deal. Like, no, for me it was. So that's up there on my end credits.
Yeah, which one was that? I'm trying to remember which movie that was.
Man, I'm trying to remember now. I feel like that was. I think that was First. No, that wasn't First Class. Mm-hmm. I think it was Wolverine.
I feel like there was one between First Class and Days of Future Past. But I don't know what the movie was.
Not a pop.
No.
Wasn't Apocalypse.
It came. Yeah, because he was like the forces against us. Yeah. This was before Days of Future Past. It has to be the Wolverine. I think.
If anyone in the chat here knows what that movie is, just like
yeah.
I'm mad that I don't remember the movie. I just remember that end credit though. Okay. But that's not my question though. My question is, where do you think the MCU is going now that we have experienced the Infinity Saga? The Infinity Saga is over. Where do we go from here? How do you bring fans back into the movie theaters?
House of M.
Galactus, man. That has to be the way to go. Galactus, Kang the Conqueror. That's what I've been hearing. Fantastic Four will bring people back. Bringing back the X-Men will bring people
John
back.
Krasinski as Mr.
I
Fantastic.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman.
Who?
Emily Blunt. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're married in real life, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
Still
it
makes
makes
Um,
total sense.
In terms of like immediate movies, first of all, I'm so mad at COVID for pushing every Marvel movie back like 5 months. Like it just,
And the shows too.
I'm so looking forward to. I think out of all the movies coming out, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, that I think is going to be phenomenal. Can't wait.
Oh yeah.
It's just pushed back so far at this point, but
Yeah, true.
yeah. I mean, I'm interested in what they're going to pop up with next, but I'm also like scared because I don't know. Like they're going to go very cosmic, and personally, like the cosmic-esque movies aren't my favorite. Like I'm not. I like Thor. Not the like biggest fan of Thor's. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 1, great. 2, was my favorite. And yes, I don't know how I feel about the cosmic films, but it all depends on how I've been hearing so many rumors about how they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four and how they're going to, I heard Blade's coming out. I'm really interested in the reboot of Blade. Here for it. Vampires in the MCU. Not to go crazy, but real quick side note: how do y'all feel about Morbius being connected to possibly Spider-Man, possibly MCU, possibly Venom?
Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton.
Well, they showed that in they had, what was it? They showed that small clip in what was that? Oh man,
in the Morbius trailer,
where Jared Leto was supposed to play. Yeah,
Morbius.
Morbius.
Yeah, the Morbius trailer. Michael Keaton pops up real quick as the Vulture.
That came up and disappeared. Like, oh man,
yeah, it feels like so long ago. You know what I mean? I'm so excited about Morbius though, and I think Jared Leto is going to kill that role. I was convinced. That it's going to be epic, and I think to bring Spider-Man in it, and I do believe that Tom Holland's going to make an appearance in the next Venom movie, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So I do think they're going to just try to marry and mirror, and for the fans, especially through everything that we've been through as a society. I think they're definitely going to work something out where we can have all of our favorite characters or characters we've never seen before in the same movie. So I'm really excited about that.
I feel the end game of and no pun intended, I feel the end game of what Marvel is about to do is to take everything that came before the MCU under Marvel and bring everything together
under one house.
And I think that was the initial. I think that's what Kevin Feige wanted to do from the very start, because he was producers of some of the movies from X-Men, Spider-Man. So I think he wants to bring it all under the same umbrella, and that is what's going to keep us for the next 10 years.
100%.
The X-Men, bringing in Fantastic Four, bringing in Morbius, bringing in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Oh my God!
And Hulk is still.
Hulk is still.
Multiverse of Madness with Sam Raimi. You gotta do it.
Multiverse of Madness is going to be insane.
Even Into the Spider-Verse, the second one, they're talking about having a lot of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
That would be so awesome.
Oh my God,
animated selves or whatnot. So,
but 2099, he better be in it.
Oh my God!
At the end scene of that movie,
that was dope.
Oh man, but it's
Miles Morales movie, like.
So real quick, Remy here. Remy, awesome guy. He's always here supporting. He says, don't forget New Mutants. So Remy, I'm going to say this with the absolute utmost respect that I have for you. Who cares about New Mutants? Sorry. You know why? Because again, New Mutants is part of a remnant universe that no longer exists. You're saying that's all connected to the X-Men universe, and X-Men universe has been bought out, and they're no longer there. It's done, unless Sir Patrick Stewart comes back and reprises his role as Professor X. Then that means everything that happened then actually was. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm not interested. I'm not interested in New Mutants, because what is going to be the payoff for me after that movie is done?
Nothing. It's like that movie. I feel like I've heard about that movie for like 3 years now. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I saw a trailer 3 years ago, and I'm not going to be surprised. I think it's supposed to come out at the end of this month, maybe. But if COVID does something stupid again, and that movie gets pushed back like another 3 months, like I would not be surprised. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm good.
Unfortunately, that movie is just not going to get what it wants. I'm sorry, it's just not.
And like I said, like all due respect, like it looks good, but to me that's something that could be on FX.
Yeah.
Because they already have Legion on there. You already have like other X-Men type of movie type / shows. I feel like that would be a better place there. I don't think a full movie. I feel like it's gonna drop in the box office. I don't think it's gonna make a hit. I don't even think people even know about it, nor people.
Yeah.
Again,
Like,
too little, too late.
yeah, I don't think it'll stand well on its own because I think Remy said that like not every movie needs to be connected, and I agree, but it just doesn't have the driving forces behind it to make it stand alone.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think it's going to drop the ball in that regard.
But I think also Black Widow is not gonna. I think Black Widow will do well in a sense, but I don't think Black Widow is necessary at this point either.
Yeah,
Like
Same.
I agree. I mean,
I agree.
a little, like you said, a little too late. I mean, I don't know why we had Captain Marvel movie. That should have been Black Widow's movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why they had that.
Her movie.
And then in Endgame, she really didn't make a difference either. So, like, Endgame would have worked well if she was out of it still. You know, like, I mean, it really made no sense for that movie. That should have been Black Widow's movie right then and there, and it should have connected
Yes.
Endgame in some way. And then I think it would have flushed well with a lot of the audiences. You know.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel should have been this year instead and delayed by COVID.
Agreed.
Right. It's like why I don't understand why they would bring a character that just killed off back. Like, first of all,
I think I
don't
know
think
why.
her death was warranted. Like, actually, I really like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and personally, I would have been cool if they took Jeremy Renner instead.
I just like.
But I think she should have been there in that like final like woman shot that all happened with the. I think that like she should have been there.
Man, you're not lying about that scene, man.
Yeah, she should have been there. Like,
That scene, man.
and yeah, I'm gonna watch it, of course, and I think it's gonna be great. They're gonna have General Ross setting up, his old Red Hulk thing, and something else that they're doing, like the Evil Avengers or something like that. So I'm excited for all that. But like I said, yeah, it's gonna be one of those another one of those MC movies. It's just gonna be okay. I don't think it's gonna be like
Yeah.
a thing.
So I have some feelings about it too for the future of MCU. First, I think that we are going to go in the direction of Secret Wars because the Russo brothers have been talking about that. And I mentioned this with Corey before during one of his live streams. I also think that the reveal who Taskmaster is going to be, I hope it's someone big. I have some fan casting ideas, and I was curious if you guys have any fan castings for hero roles. Like, for example, I mentioned John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to throw out there that I think Ryan Gosling as Nova would be awesome, but that's just me.
Okay.
So I'm curious to hear if you guys have any fan castings and what you guys think about Secret Wars.
For Nova Prime, my fan casting was Zac Efron.
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
Yeah, I think put him in.
I thought of him. I thought of him as the Human Torch.
I can see him as his role in Baywatch. That's the Human Torch right there.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I think they're gonna go a little younger though for the Human Torch. I think they're gonna go someone closer to like Tom Holland's age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
character, depending. It all depends, but they're gonna do someone new. I don't think it's gonna be like an A-list.
Sure. I don't think so. And that's I don't think so. And I think Nova Prime would be.
I also mentioned that I think Giancarlo Esposito would be a terrific casting. He wants to be in the MCU. He said his last thing he wants to do in his movie career is that he wants to be in the MCU, and I think it would be so awesome if he did the voice of the Beyonder or Galactus. That's just me.
I'm curious of who's gonna end up playing Norman Osborn because I know Norman's coming.
That's
I'm
good.
really excited for Norman, and I don't know.
That's what I heard. I heard that he's also being considered for that role or for Doctor Doom. Any one of those four, I'm fine with.
I hope Doctor Doom gets his own movie.
Yeah. So
Like, he needs his own movie. Set him up before the Fantastic Four, please.
That
Give
would
him his own thing.
that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to touch on. Doctor Doom coming in on his own movie, even if they do it like how they did Thanos and have
Yep.
Doctor Doom in the background of someone else's movie.
Tease him in Black Panther. I heard they were talking about having him in Black Panther.
Black Panther, right? So, and give him his own movie. Like, let's set that world up. Let's set up that character. Let's do him right. The
Yep.
last few times he's been on screen, the last two times,
Fantastic, bro. Oh god, it was so bad.
man.
who's your fan
I
cast?
watched that movie. I got robbed of what was it? Hour and 20 something minutes.
Terrible.
I don't think I've even seen that movie.
My friend Caden said that he heard Doctor Doom was supposed to be in Doctor Strange too,
Ooh.
which
Ooh.
that would kind of make sense. But
That would make
who would you guys fan cast for him?
For Doctor Doom?
oh
Yeah.
man.
No,
Mm.
he's a tough one.
Yeah, I have to get back to
Because it
that.
has to be someone who's not old, but has like a grizzled look to him. So
Yeah.
where, like, yeah, you can see he has a lot of miles. Like he's been around for a long time. But he's-
Giancarlo Esposito.
yeah,
That's who I vote.
yeah, I can see that.
His look, like he does this thing where he will stare at somebody and you don't have to like know anything that he's done like with his criminal acts, and you know that just the glance that he can hold is just it can fit in that role. When he was in Breaking Bad, when he played Gus, I know you guys haven't maybe seen it, but when he played Gus, you know that he didn't like, you never saw him like do any crimes on screen. But then when he actually does something drastic, he doesn't change his emotion. He just the whole time.
See, I think that'd be better for like I could see that more in Norman though than I could in like
Or yeah, Norman might be better,
you know,
but
I like Doctor Doom. Like I don't see the guy who played Gus. Like I don't see him being as like a man with like because that would be the same for Norman though. Like with like absolute power, like
Yeah.
holy smokes.
oh
type of
yeah,
power.
true. That's a good point.
So I
Question:
can't think of a-
Would you guys want to see Doctor Doom as a CGI character, or as the actor in a suit, in the mask, the outfit?
Make it practical. Make
Yeah.
it practical.
I think the first Fantastic Four did a pretty good job with the suit, in my opinion. You know, because it was practical. To
Yeah.
the character.
Yeah. I think
Just
something
give
along
him
those
a-
lines. Yeah.
Just give him a good origin story, because I felt like the Fantastic Four movie didn't really do that too well.
Yeah.
True.
So let's take this a little step further. When we go to Civil War, Zemo. So
Yes.
everybody knows how Zemo looked from the comic books.
Yes.
This was the character that we got.
Yeah,
So, in my opinion, I thought for the tone of the movie,
it fit.
it fit.
I could have a guy in a purple suit running around.
Or
Serious.
scarf.
Yeah.
Even though the scarf is dope, like
Yeah,
from the
the
comic
comics,
books.
yeah.
Yeah, but so
But they got it though. They got it too because in the Winter Soldier show coming up, he's gonna sport that purple mask and that works. That
Yeah,
if
that
you had that in the trailer, oh snap, we're hype.
yes,
And Marvel's so good at setting that stuff up, so they can give us Doctor Doom without anything for an entire movie.
true.
And
when
then have him in
when
the-
the time's right, we're gonna be hyped because we know him as a person, as a character, and
Mhm.
seeing him like with absolute power is gonna be blow our minds.
yeah,
So,
I think also the reason why Zemo's wearing his mask in the show is because during that time, people are going to know that Zemo did all these things like the bombing,
Mhm.
killing T'Chaka, and doing all these other crimes and whatnot. And so putting on that mask may have something to do with that. And I don't remember the exact quote from Black Panther at the end of Civil War, but he was talking with him about something. And maybe his discussion did something to his mind to put on the mask. But maybe I'm just overthinking it.
no, you're probably right. I mean, that's probably a smarter direction for them to go into anyway. Like now that the world knows who he is, because most likely he's locked away, and
Yeah.
people know who he is, he needs to put on something that hides his, appearance.
Yeah, he's in that cell, right? The same cell
Yeah.
as Bucky was.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense.
So how do you guys feel about that? These shorts that are going to be coming out. Well, not shorts, but like the fact that we have Scarlet Witch
Yeah, WandaVision,
coming out.
Winter Soldier, Loki,
And Hawkeye.
yeah, I think those are. And then we have the
Moon Knight. Was it
and
Moon
Moon Knight. What
Miss
is it?
Marvel, She-Hulk.
She-Hulk?
Yeah, She-Hulk. Yeah, there's so many. Oh my gosh.
So my opinion is that I think that WandaVision, for the people that I've talked to, this is a hot take. It seems like the majority of my friends who watch Marvel movies with me don't care about either of them. But the reason why I am going to get into the show is because Vision was really the only one missing from Endgame, and I want to see how they bring him back, as well as the fact that if you've seen the trailer, you have different versions of the characters, and one of them is a black and white screen that's like shot in the 50s. It's vintage, and I'm a big vintage person, so I'm down for that. I'm excited for Sam Wilson to pick up the shield in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Love both of those characters. Hawkeye I'm into, and I don't have the passion for Loki. I don't really see the need to have a Loki show.
I'm excited.
That's just me.
Because I mean, so what? As you were speaking, you mentioned how you want to return to all these characters, and I think that's what makes this show really good. The Netflix shows I couldn't get into for some reason. Maybe it wasn't directly connected to the MCU. Say again?
All the offshoots of them, like the Defenders and all the offshoots.
Yeah, like the Defenders and Daredevil. I watched a little bit of Luke Cage, but it just like something about these shows. I feel like I'm going to be hooked instantly because they're going to be like a bunch of mini Marvel movies.
Yeah,
like,
because we know the characters.
All the same people. You know who's making these things. All the same characters. You know their talents. And yeah, I mean, I think WandaVision and Loki, I'm really excited for. Loki more so because of how we left him in Endgame. Like, whoa, Loki's back, and it's not the Loki we know. It's 2012 Loki. Okay, so we're shifting things up like crazy. I love it. WandaVision, Wanda is going to connect to Doctor Strange. So I'm watching that for clues to Doctor Strange. That's mainly like my idea behind that. Winter Soldier, love all the Captain America movies, the action, the everything about those movies. Winter Soldier, like the Captain America movie, action was crazy. I hope it's the same type of feel with these. Like I want to feel like the Russos made it.
Yeah.
And then
we have a missing show, by the way.
Which one?
What If?
Yeah.
What If?
I'm gonna get into that in a second too. And then Hawkeye's the one I'm not really like there for right now because, like I said, I personally Hawkeye's not like my favorite. I think he should have left an Endgame.
Yeah.
What If is interesting, and I don't know what they're gonna. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about that, honestly.
And Kate Bishop was.
I just want to real quick.
Go ahead.
Before we move forward, you mentioned that we know these characters, so I just want to play devil's advocate real quick.
Yeah.
Agents of Shield. We had characters there that were from the movie. They made their appearances and all that stuff. Do you feel the same for Agents of Shield than you do for the Defenders?
Yeah. I never watched Agents of Shield. Because Coulson, like they killed him off, and then it's like
they gave him the Black Widow treatment.
They did.
Because I saw your face.
They gave him the Black Widow treatment, killing him off and then bringing him back.
Yeah, and like it's like we're not super hyped for Black Widow, kind of because of that reason. Like that character, their arc ended. Like, why are you continuing their arc? Mm-hmm. Loki's again different because Loki. It's not the same Loki that died. The Loki that died is dead. This is a new Loki. It's a different Loki that we're picking up from 2012. Really interested to see like how he thinks, what he thinks. He's probably not like I would say he was an anti-hero before. He's probably still villain now. And what is he gonna do to the multiverse? Because he's in this weird spot now.
Well, now he can't go and he can't go serve Thanos because he's not around. But
yeah. And what does that mean?
Gotta find his own motivation now.
Is he the new bad again? Like because back in 2012 he was their biggest problem. And now he still thinks they're his biggest problem.
Yeah.
So
I hope they do not go that route.
Same.
I don't want them to rehash what made things work. new
Mm.
stars, new villains.
Mm.
That's why I'm glad that they took Loki and they're isolating him into his own story.
Yep.
Because the way that they're saying that the timeline works is it doesn't matter what you do. When you get to that certain time where you're gone, you're gone. So Loki died, was it 2000, let's say
18.
18?
Yeah.
War, Infinity War.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens
Oh yeah.
between now and 2012 to 2018, he's gonna die. Like either a different way, but that's the timeline for him. Like I want that to be the timeline and for them to stick to it because I really don't need to see another Loki. I
Yeah.
want to see the adventures that he goes through.
Yeah.
But I don't see Loki
It'd be
anymore.
interesting too if he knows that. And so like
Yeah.
he's racing against the clock to like, I don't know, to maybe
Mm.
prolong his time or to figure out how can he thwart the Avengers
How much
and stuff
stuff
like that.
he can mess up before
Yeah,
he's
before
out.
he's out completely. So
Yeah.
I
That
like-
could be really fun. That could be really fun if they do
yeah,
it.
I mean, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm sick of seeing him die too. He's getting the Uncle Ben treatment.
Yeah.
He's died in every movie with the exception of Thor Ragnarok.
No, he died in Ragnarok. No, wait, no, he didn't.
He
Well,
died in
If you
Kind
well,
of, sort of.
if-
He died at
if-
the end of Ragnarok.
every other film he's in. So he doesn't die in the original Avengers, right?
no,
Well, no.
No, he
So
he
he-
went to jail.
He dies every other movie he's in.
yeah, if you notice it,
Doesn't-
And he's one of 3 characters in the MCU that I would not trust. I wouldn't trust him, Nebula, or the Winter Soldier. Even if Bucky's mind has been cleaned, I still don't trust him.
Hydra could have set up all different types
Yep.
of.
It's like a backup drive, you know?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I have to disagree with you on that one. I think I trust, especially Nebula. 'Cause I think she
Yeah,
went
I think I trust Nebula.
transformation. You know what I mean? And maybe but the other Nebula died from 2012. That Nebula died. So
that Nebula's dead.
I think we can trust Nebula
I'm curious what they're gonna do with the Guardians now.
because
Yeah,
Thanos is
but
gone, too.
Asgardians.
The Asgardians or whatever, like, because now we got Gamora, who's not not feeling Quill anymore. Like, it just messed everything up.
Yeah.
I want to see that movie. Thor, out of Endgame, I laughed the hardest when Thor and Quill
Yeah,
were back and
Lebowski.
forth, and he was looking at it. He was like, "Yes, of course."
that was so great.
And he's staring at him. I'm like,
Like, why are you making your voice like that?
I want to see more of
What
these.
do you
And I hope
It's
they
always like
keep fat, like the thicker Thor. Like,
Yeah.
I
Thick Thor.
hope they keep him like that for a little bit. I really like that a lot.
Or you call him
with
when
it.
you say Fat Thor and you put it together, it's father, which is really funny.
Oh my
wow.
God, yeah, that's
I didn't notice
true.
that.
That's true.
Oh, okay. That makes sense now. That makes sense.
Dynamic TV, good to see you. Good to see you on Twitch. What's up? All right.
I was
so-
gonna mention. Did you guys hear about Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series?
Mm.
Yeah, so Hawkeye is supposed to be handing over the mantle to Kate Bishop.
Yep.
Playing,
she's
like,
been casted.
Haley Steinfeld. She
Yes.
was in the Bumblebee movie.
Yep. I think that's perfect. She was in. She played Gwen Stacy in Into the Spider-Verse as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The voice. Okay.
What was it?
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
I'm good
Me
with that.
too. Really happy.
I kind of think kind of the same thing with Black Widow. Too little, too late for me.
hmm
Hawkeye. However, if it's showing a retired Hawkeye, getting her up to speed to be in the new Avengers, and then we see her in the new Avengers movie, then okay, then I'm okay with that.
And I think that's why Ant-Man worked, in my opinion, because it was Scott Lang and not with Pym.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
So
But
I
they
think that's
still
why it works.
still showed respect to the character
yeah,
in the comic of Hank Pym, and
Yeah.
Van Dyne.
Yeah.
And now that mantle is going to be passed down to Cassie, and
Right.
that gets all the children excited for the Kid Avengers. That little scene at the end of Endgame where at Tony's funeral we saw the kid from Iron Man 3.
Yep, Harley.
Yes, let's go. Let's bring all those kids together and do something crazy. I'm so
Are we ready for that though?
Who is going to be the
So-
next Iron Man? We have to keep that in mind because Tony has his daughter too.
I think I'm ready for it. Like personally, I don't remember if you guys know if you guys remember that movie with the Kid Avengers. There was that cartoon movie. I forget what it was called, but it had like an older Tony Stark and an older Hulk, and the rest of the Avengers were dead.
Yes,
And they had all their kids, and they're working together.
I remember. Yeah.
I would love to see that live action, and I think they're setting that up, and I'm super here for it.
I definitely think they're gonna sprinkle that in different movies, but I
Yeah.
don't think we're gonna be ready for that just yet.
Yeah. I agree with Travis. I can see them doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and the time to strike that iron is now.
Yeah.
But if we look at it, we're in a future of 2023 in the current MCU universe.
Yep.
Tony Stark's daughter is 7 or something like that. So we
Yeah.
have a long time to go.
Yeah.
Shuri was a name that was passed around. Make her
I
Ironheart,
would love that.
which I feel they should probably go that direction.
Yeah.
Also, too, I don't mean to cut you, but also
Yeah.
they were talking about in Captain Marvel, her
Oh yes.
her daughter.
Her
you
Yep.
know, so I think in the comics she actually was Iron Man, or she held the mantle of is it Captain Marvel? She held the mantle though, and
Mhm.
I think they're talking about introducing her to the MCU as well.
So then that brings into question if they're going to do Civil War 2, where they have a new Iron Man and a new Captain Marvel, even though we don't need a new Captain Marvel. I don't know the whole story behind that whole dispute, but that might be something to consider.
It was kind of like this, not the same thing, but it was kind of convoluted, my opinion. I actually believe that we should get a proper Civil War movie, because everybody says it's Civil War, but it's Captain America's Civil War.
Yeah.
That's the title. The Marvel Civil War movie, that's a
It's
totally different thing. Even though the story beats were very similar, mutant registration, superhero registration, and everything like that. I kind of want that. So even if we don't get a movie version of that, I want to get a what if version of that. Once the
Oh yeah.
are introduced to the universe, I want to see that.
Oh yeah.
You know. But guys, we are approaching the 1 hour mark. 3 minutes in. I think that this was a hearty conversation. I think that this was awesome. I haven't been as excited to talk about comic books in a very long time. I like the feedback that I'm seeing as far as through the chat. Guys, and just to let everybody know, we were supposed to have another group. Jay-Z Productions was going to join us today, but we have some scheduling conflicts, and we're sorry about that. But we're hoping that the next time we do this, this is just our pilot, so we're just seeing what works, what we like, what we don't like, and hopefully the next one you'll see four boxes here, and you'll get perspective from all 4 of us. Right now, I want you to, Nick and Drizzle, to just go ahead and give everybody your social medias, where people could find you, where can people follow you, and so on.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you guys, Travis and Corey, for having us. Awesome conversation. I love talking about this stuff, as always. For everybody else, go by Design by Drizzle. You can find me on Instagram at Design by Drizzle. And I think that's my only social media right now that I'd be popping off on. But give me a follow there. Love to chat, talk about anything. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and likewise, thank you guys for having us tonight. It was a wonderful experience, and I kind of feel like even though this was an hour long, I could talk for many, many more hours. So, as for the people out there watching this, both on YouTube and Instagram, you guys can follow me. You can't see it right now, but it's at id.nicholasvera on Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys, and this was fun.
All right.
Absolutely. And of course, guys, you can catch us, me and my brother here, on Brothers Who Brick. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram as well. Twitch, same thing. We're happy that you guys took the time out of your busy schedules. You're college students. Graduating Sunday. Congratulations to you, man. If you guys can see in the background, I'm reminded every day of the sacrifices I had to make to get that degree. So
whatever it takes.
whatever it takes. That's it. That's it. Whatever it takes, man. So definitely, I'm happy for you and proud of you. This is just the beginning for you, man. Both of you guys. Keep pushing the boundaries, keep pushing the envelope, keep networking. Push your content out. As much content as you guys have, push it out. You never know who's watching. You never know who's looking. And, you never know how you'll get your big start in your career by just doing the stuff that you do.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm into that. Thank you, guys.
Something.
I can't wait to when is the next time we're going to do this again? That's what I'm ready to talk about some more Marvel and DC stuff, even some Dragon Ball Z stuff, man. I got y'all covered on that. Right, whichever. I mean, right. We definitely got to link up again.
So guys, let's keep talking. Let's see if we can get some type of schedule going.
Of course.
So that we make this a routine thing where we just come together and maybe it could be a DC appreciation night. We can do something like that. Good stuff about DC. That's going to be.
I'm going to be sick for that episode.
I love the Keaton films. I mean, Michael Keaton. I'm here for to talk about those ones.
All right, cool. All the 90s. Yeah. Talk about the 80s and the 90s of
DC shows. Yeah,
absolutely. But guys, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was an awesome pilot podcast. You guys are amazing. Travis, thank you for swinging by. I know you got a busy schedule yourself. Brothers Who Brick are going to be doing some big things. We got some big things coming down the woodwork. So please keep checking us out. Check out what we're doing, our teaching schedules and stuff like that, and other things that we're doing in the Lego community. So everybody take care. Thank you for joining us tonight. And until next time, I don't want to say get your brick on because
that's kind of and that's taken already. Will and that might come for you.
Yeah, you're right.
We gotta think of a good sign off.
Yeah. We'll
Let's, if you guys find something good, put it in the chat.
Yeah.
And, we might consider maybe amalgamation of everything.
We're in the end game now.
Ooh.
No.
You can't. You don't want to get sued. You know.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
We're in
We're not. Well, yeah. We're in
the beginning game. All right. Yeah. Listen. We'll see you guys. We'll figure out how to sign off. Take care, guys.
Hey guys, take care.
All right.